Hello everyone, I am Ritika Dulkar, Assistant Professor IT Department. So in the course of machine learning, we discuss about Unit 6. So Unit 6 is based on Introduction to the Artificial Neural Network, where we discuss about what is meant by perceptron and how this perceptron works and the what are the training algorithms are used in the perceptron. Okay, so in my previous video, we already covered this topic. So where in the training algorithm, there are two types of training algorithms are used in the perceptron. That is the single unit, that is training algorithm with single unit and training algorithm with a multiple unit. Okay, so यहाँ तक हमने डिस्कस किया था. So next we also discuss about the perceptron learning rules. What is mean by perceptron learning rules? How we get the input, and based on this input, what kind of output is generated in artificial neural network technique, where we use the binary classification type problems. Okay. So the next point is a perceptron with sigmoid activation function. Okay, so we already discussed the different types of activation functions like linear activation function, tangent hyperbolic activation function, then rectifier linear unit activation function, softmax activation function, binary step activation function, and also we discuss about the sigmoid activation function. So here in this video we discuss about this, how we apply the sigmoid activation function by using the perceptron technique. Okay. So see here, before starting the sigmoid activation function, so first we discuss about the XOR gate with the neural network. Okay. So let us discuss here. So in the perceptron, we are using some logical gates or and XOR not. Okay. So the perceptron learning rule converges if the two classes can be separated by the linear hyperplane. So if the classes cannot be separated perfectly by a linear classifier, it it could give a rise to errors. The classifier boundaries for a binary output in a perceptron is represented by this equation, vector w dot product of two vectors product or a vectors of a weight and input equal to 0. So this is the binary output in a perceptron. So this diagram shows the decision surface represented by the two input perceptron. Here we are using the two input perceptron x1 and x2. These are the two inputs, and this is also the x1 and x2 are these two inputs. And we are applying the classification binary or a binary classifier boundary between the two inputs x1 and x2. Plus are the neurons, positive neurons, and minus is a negative. That is neuron does not fire in this case. So the first figure shows the example can be clearly separated into the positive and negative values. So there are linearly separable. Okay, so these are the linearly separable positive and the negative values in a two inputs value x1 and x2. So this can be include logical gates like AND, OR, NOR, and NAND. Okay. So the second diagram shows the example that are not linearly separable. Okay, so these are the not linearly separable. We cannot separate the two positive values or these two negative values. Okay, so this is the linearly separable example. So the first diagram is a linearly separable example. So for this second diagram, they are not a linearly separable. So as in the XOR gate. So here we use the XOR gate, logical gate. So the first diagram is a set of training examples and the decision surface of a perceptron that classifies them correctly. And in a second diagram, the set of training examples that are not linearly separable, that is, they cannot be correctly classified by any straight line. So in the second diagram, we cannot classify in a straight line plus plus or minus minus, okay, but in a first diagram we can linearly separate it two values, positive values and a negative values. And here the x1 and x2 are the two perceptron inputs. Clear? Any doubt? So next is what is a logic gate? The logic gates are the building blocks of a digital system, especially in a neural network. So they are the electronic circuits that help in a addition, choice, negation, and the combination to form a complex circuit. Using the logic gates, neural network can learn on their own without having to manual code logic. So most logic gates have two inputs and one output. Most of the logical gates, that is AND, OR, NOR. So these logic gates have the two input x1, x2 and produces one output, that is Y. So each terminal has one of the two binary conditions, low, that is 0, or a high, 1, represented by different voltage level. So the logic state of a terminal changes based on how the circuit process the data. So based on this logic, the logic gates can be categorized into the seven types: NAND, AND, OR, NOR, NOT, XOR, and XNOR. Okay. So using these logic gates, we can implement the perceptron. So this is the implementation basic logic gates with the perceptron and OR. Okay. So if the two inputs are the true plus 1 and the output of perceptron is positive, which amounts to true. So the final is a true. So this is the desired behavior of an AND gate. So if the x1 equal to 1, that is true, x2 equal to 1, true, w0 minus 0.8, w1 equal to 0.5 and w2 equal to 0.5. Then the output of a input value, that is the output of a two neurons, equal to 0.8 plus summation of w0 plus w1 x1, okay, so is greater than 0. 0.2 is greater than 0, so in that case the output is a 0. Similarly, for if we are using the OR, okay, so the true false, if the conditions are true or false, so the 0.3, 0.5 into 1 plus zero point 0.5 into 0, okay, so equal to 0.2 is greater than 0. So if the either of the two inputs are true plus 1, the output of perceptron is a positive, which amounts to true. Okay, so if the both are true, so in a AND condition, okay, x1 and okay. So if the we are using the OR logic gate, true condition and false. So in the OR condition also either true and the second is a false. Then the output is a true. Okay. Similarly for AND gate also. If the both conditions are true, then the output is positive. If the one condition is false, then the output is not positive in a AND logic gate. But in a OR logic gate, one of the two one of the two inputs in a OR logic gate, if the x1 is true or x2 false, then the output is also true. If the both the inputs are false, then only the output is a false in a OR logic gate. Okay, clear? Okay, if in our logic gate, if you are using x1 also 0, so the x1 is also false and x2 is also false. then output become minus zero point 0.3 plus 0. Then the output is minus zero point 0.3 less than 0. So this is the false condition. Okay, so the perceptron is a negative, that is the output is a negative value in a OR logic gate. Next, XOR logic gate. So the XOR logic gate, also called as the exclusive OR gates, has the two inputs and one output. The gate return a true as the output if and only if one of the input state is a true. One of the input state is a true, and otherwise both are false. 0 0. If the two inputs are in a false condition, then output is a false. If the two inputs are in a true condition, then also the output is a false. So this is the XOR logic gate. So XOR gate with the neural network. How the XOR logic gate work in a neural network? So in that, so unlike the AND and OR logic gate, so XOR gate requires an intermediate hidden layer for a preliminary transformation in order to achieve the logic of an XOR gate. So in XOR gate, we include the one hidden layer, that is H3 and H4. So, so XOR gate assigns weight so that XOR conditions are met. So it cannot be implemented with a single layer perceptron and requires the multi-layer perceptron or a MLP. So if we are using XOR logic gate with the neural network, so in that case, it cannot be implemented with a single layer perceptron. So XOR gate required multi-layer perceptron, multi-layer perceptron or a MLP. So here H represent a hidden layer which allows the XOR implementation. I1, I2, H3, H4, O5 are a 0 false or a 1 true. So this input, hidden layer and output in the form of a 0 format, that is binary 0 or a binary 1, true or false. So T3 equal to threshold for a H3, okay, and T4 equal to threshold for H4, okay. So here T4, T5 threshold for O5, output 5. So here the H3 equal to the hidden layer equal to sigmoid. Here we are applying the activation function sigmoid. So input 1 into W13, okay, W13 plus input 2 into W23 minus T3, okay. So the in a sigmoid, the summation of input and weight, summation of input, product of input and weight minus theta. So here the theta is a T3 for a hidden layer H3, okay. And for the H4, the hidden layer H4 equal to sigmoid function I1 input with weight value W14 plus I2 with weight W24 minus the threshold value for the H4 is T4, okay, minus T4. Okay, and the final output is equal to sigmoid of H3 with some weight with W35 plus H4, that is this hidden layer, into W45 minus T5. Okay, the threshold value for the output 5 is a T5. Okay, so this is the XOR gate with a neural network. So the next is the sigmoid activation function, the perceptron with the sigmoid activation function. Okay, so here we generate three equations for H3, H4 and O5 with the sigmoid activation function. So the next part is the perceptron with the sigmoid activation function. So this is called the logistic sigmoid and leads to a probability probability of the value between 0 or 1. So this is useful as an activation function when one is interested in probability mapping rather than precise value of an input parameter t. The sigmoid output is close to the 0 for highly negative input. So the next is a perceptron. In a perceptron with sigmoid activation function. So the diagram shows a perceptron with sigmoid activation function. So function sigmoid is one of the most popular activation function in a neural network model, and this is the sigmoid curve. Okay. So a sigmoid function is a mathematical function with a sigmoid curve, that is S. The graph is in a S curve. It is a special case of the logistic function and is defined by the function um, okay. So logistic sigmoid function defined in a pi of z equal to 1 divided by 1 plus e raised to minus z. So this is the logistic function in a sigmoid format. So, so in this binary classification problem, the z is okay. So here the z is summation of all the summation of product of all the input and weight. Okay, so z. So in that case, the z equal to w0 x0. Okay, with some bias. The here the w1 w0 x0 is the bias b plus w1 x1 plus up to the wm xm. Okay, so here the summation of I equal to 0 to m. So this is the z, and the logistic function is phi of z equal to 1 divided by 1 plus e raised to minus z. Okay. So the here the inputs links w j comma I. So here AI activation function applying in a G in, okay, net input. Okay, here summation is created input function where here we generate some net input values. Okay, so then the activation function A of I equal to G of I in, we are applying activation function on a net input. Okay, that is in in, and the final output is a AI. Okay, and output, and these are the links. So this is the perceptron with the sigmoid activation function, and the curve is like this, S curve. So this is called as a logistic sigmoid and leads to a probability of the value between 0 and 1. Value between 0 and 1. So this is useful as an activation function when one is interested in a probability mapping rather than precise value of an input parameter t. The sigmoid output is close to 0 for highly negative inputs. So this can be a problem in a neural network training, and can lead to slow the learning and the model getting trapped in a local minima during the training process. Next is the output. So the perceptron output is a 0.888, which indicates the probability of output y being a 1. Okay. So if the sigmoid output a value greater than 0.5, so the output is marked as a true. Okay. If the sigmoid output is more than 0.5, then the output is a positive, that is true. Since the output here is 0.888, the final output is marked as a true. So, so in this example, if we find out this value, okay, phi of z, 1 divided 1 plus e raised to minus z, Okay, so the if we are getting the output in a 0.888, okay, so then the output is marked as a true. Clear? Then, so here the activation function, these are the types of activation function: linear, unit step, heaviside function, sine, piecewise linear, logistic sigmoid, hyperbolic tangent, real U, okay, rectified linear unit. These are the equation for this activation function. Then examples and graph, okay. So the logistic sigmoid is used in a logistic regression multilayer NNN, okay. And in a perceptron, the example, the sine is the example of a perceptron variant. So in a perceptron also we can use unit step heaviside function, okay, this graph, okay. So this is the also graph used in a perceptron, okay, step function, sine function and sigmoid function. Step function, sine function and sigmoid function. These three activation functions used in a perceptron or a multilayer neural network. Clear? Any doubt? So the activation function to be used is a subjective decision taken by the data scientist based on the problem statement and the form of a desired result. If the learning process is slow or has a vanishing or exploding gradient, the data scientist may try to change the activation function to see if these problems can be resolved. Thank you.